أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين، شفيع المذنبين وخاتم النبيين، نبينا وشفينا وحبيب قلوبنا وطبيب نفوسنا أبي القاسم محمد وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين المنتجبين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. فإليك يا رب نسبت وجهي، وإليك يا رب مددت يدي، فبعزتك استجب لدعائي وبلغني منايا، ولا تقطع من فضلك رجائي، واكفني شر الجن والإنس من أعدائي. يا سريع الرضا اغفر لمن لا يملك إلا الدعاء، فإنك فعال لما تشاء. يا من اسمه دواء وذكره شفاء وطاعته غنى، ارحم من رأس ماله الرجاء وسلاؤه البقاء. يا سابغ النعم، يا دافع النقام، يا نور المستوحشين في الظلم، يا عالما لا يعلم. صل على محمد وآل محمد وافعل به ما أنت أحلو. وصلى الله على رسوله والأئمة الميامين من آله وسلم تسليما كثيرا كثيرا. السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله وعلى الأرواح التي حلت بفنائك. عليكم مني جميعا سلام الله أبدا ما بقيت وبقي الليل والنهار، ولا جعله الله الآخر لحد مني لزيارتكم. السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين جميعا ورحمة الله وبركاته. أما بعد، فقد قال الله سبحانه وتعالى في كتابه المجيد وفرقانه الحميد، وهو أصدق الصادقين وقوله الحق. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ألف لام را. كتاب أنزلناه إليك لتخرج الناس من الظلمات إلى النور بإذن ربهم إلى صراط العزيز الحميد. آمنا بالله وصدق الله العلي العظيم. صلوات على محمد وآل محمد. Elders of the community, my brothers and sisters in Islam, Salamun alaykum jami'an wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. أعظم الله أجورنا وأجوركم بمسابنا بأبي عبد الله الحسين عليه الصلاة والسلام. Before I start my lecture tonight, I want to take the opportunity. Tomorrow, inshallah, will be the day of Ashura. And of course, tomorrow we will be reciting in Ashura and Sham Ghariba only the Masaib of Aba Abdullah. And it will be my last day here in Auckland, inshallah. On Wednesday, I will be departing back. So I want to take this opportunity to first and foremost thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for having given me the opportunity to participate in the adha of Abu Abdullah al-Hussain. And I want to take the opportunity to also thank the community and the leadership of the community for had bestowed upon me this great honor, the honor of doing the adha of Abu Abdullah al-Hussain with the people here in Auckland. And I pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that may He accept our adha, may He accept our amals, and may He accept our du'as, inshallah. I want to particularly thank the people of this community who have shown tremendous amount of love towards me and their hospitality towards me. They have delivered food to my hotel without fail. On a regular basis, I have so much food, alhamdulillah. If you guys want to come, you can come and eat with me. There is still lots left. And I want to particularly thank Qasim Bhai and Huma Bhabi. These are the people who have shown tremendous hospitality towards me. They have addressed all my needs. They have attended to me. They have given me a ride every day. They have, every time they text me, they ask me, are you okay? What's happening? Do you need anything? May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless all of you for the incredible love and hospitality that you have shown me. I pray to Allah that He bestows His choicest blessings upon all of the people who have shown this love and hospitality towards me. And I pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give you tawfiq and maghfirat. I pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that all your hajats be accepted, inshaAllah, and that may He give you the strength to continue to serve Abu Abdullah al-Hussain. Salawat Allah Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. I want to say one more thing, and that is that over the last 10 nights, I have sat here and I've given you some thoughts and some of the views, maybe hopefully some items and some dars that will allow you to reflect and ponder, inshaAllah. It is very possible. Sometimes when you come to a community, and you don't know the people in the community, sometimes you say something and the person who's sitting there thinks that, oh, he's targeting me. Allah is my witness that I have not intended to target anybody in particular. I don't know your stories. I don't know your issues. So the intent has never been to target anyone. But if I said something, and if that hurt your feelings, then unreservedly I take this opportunity to ask you for your forgiveness. And I take the opportunity to ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for His forgiveness. It's very possible that I may have erred in some way in what I have said. I may have said something that, maybe, I have made a mistake. And if that is the case, it has not been intentional. And I pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for His forgiveness, inshaAllah. And I ask you that you find it within your hearts to forgive me as well. Recite a salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. So we are starting the lecture now. Tonight, of course, is the night of Ashura. And the night of Ashura is a night where I dedicate the lecture to none other than the chief of masters, Abu Abdullah al-Hussain, salawatullahi wa salamu alayhi. Say, tonight is the night of the hearts. Tonight, over the last few nights, we have spoken intellectually. We have spoken, spiritually. We have spoken philosophically about different things, right? We've talked about the various levels of reality that exist in Islam. We have talked about many different concepts. We have talked about many different stories. We've talked about many different issues. But tonight, we submit our hearts to Abu Abdullah al-Hussain. Tonight is the night of Abu Abdullah al-Hussain. And because of our submission to Abu Abdullah al-Hussain tonight, from the depths of our hearts, we cry tonight and say, Labbaik ya Hussain. Here we are, O Hussain. We have come to your night tonight. Tonight is not a night of philosophy, but tonight will be a night of the heart, where we look at this personality and we see what we can achieve with this personality, what we can achieve with Imam al-Hussain, for the greatest gift that we have as the followers of the mazhab of the Ahlulbayt is Abu Abdullah al-Hussain. The Holy Quran ayah that I recited was from Surah Al-Ibrahim, Alif Lam Ra, Kitabun Anzalnahu Ilayka Litukhrij an-Nasa min al-Dhulumati ila an-Nur bi'idhni Rabbihim ila Siratil Aziz al-Hamid. This is the ayah that Ayatollah Jawadi Amuli talks about, and he says this is the ayah that encapsulates and it captures the mission of Abu Abdullah al-Hussain. The mission of Abu Abdullah al-Hussain is what this ayah says when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that we have sent down this book in order to bring you out from darkness into enlightenment. And that is the mission of Abu Abdullah, to bring us out of darkness into enlightenment. It's the personalities like Imam Hussain through whom we can break those shackles and we free ourselves and liberate ourselves towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The goal tonight, my friends, is to gain proximity to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this is the night where you can gain incredible proximity to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Do not think of this night as an ordinary night. Take this night to be no lesser than the night of Qadr. The night of Ashura is that night where you can gain incredible proximity to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But for this you need courage, and we talked about courage. And you need to undertake a journey, and we talk about how we undertake that journey. This is what spirituality and irfan is all about. A lover tonight going towards his beloved through Abu Abdullah al-Hussain. A lover of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala going to the beloved, to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala through Abu Abdullah al-Hussain. You see, this is not like the parwana going to the shamma, yes? In Urdu poetry, you have this concept of parwana and shamma, yes? There is this moth that gets attracted to the candle light, the flame of the candle, any type of light, but it gets attracted to the candle. There's a moth that goes and gets attracted to the candle. If you Google parwana and shamma, you will find all this beautiful poetry in Urdu about the love of a parwana, of this moth, which is called the parwana, towards this light, this shamma. This journey is not like this parwana going to the shamma. Why? Because when this parwana is attracted to that candlelight, it goes blindly towards that candlelight. It has no ma'rifah of the candlelight. It is blind love. It has no understanding of what this light is. It doesn't understand that this is fire. And the nur that it is attracted to becomes the nar, for the parwana, and it gets destroyed, and it gets destructed, and it gets annihilated. That's not true love. True love is when the lover goes to the beloved in such a way that as he goes closer to the beloved, he starts to reflect the attributes of the beloved within himself. Why? Because he has ma'rifah of the beloved. He understands the beloved. He appreciates the beloved. He has knowledge of the beloved. So as he goes close to the beloved, he starts to reflect the attributes of the beloved within himself. That's true love. Not blind love like this. This is when that particular person who goes towards the beloved and starts to acquire the attributes of the beloved within himself, that's what is meant by taking somebody out from zulumat, from darkness, ila nur, to enlightenment. That's what it means. Zulumat ila nur, yes? Where you actually acquire the attributes of the beloved within you. Yeah? That is what is true love. You know, alhamdulillah, once I was in ziyarah, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the opportunity to visit Abu Abdullah al-Hussain, inshaAllah. I was in ziyarah once, and it was in the summer. It was very hot, 54 degrees centigrade. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, but it's quite a bit. And I was walking to the Haram, and I saw a group of people who were gathered in one place. So there was a little bit of, all these people were just gathered in one place. So I thought to myself, let me find out what's going on. And I saw that because it was so hot, somebody had brought a big slab of ice. And so what these people were doing was they were trying to get close to that ice so that they could get some coolness from the ice because it was so hot. And as they got closer to the ice, the slab of ice, they became more cool. Yes? And then alhamdulillah, I was given the opportunity to go again for ziyarah, and this was in the winter. And when I went in the winter, I saw in the same place, there was a group of people gathered around. And I thought to myself, let me check out what's going on. And this time, because it was cold, somebody had lit a fire. And people were trying to get close to the fire. And as they got closer to the fire, they started to get the heat from the fire. And they started to warm up a little bit. This is what we need to understand when we talk about proximity of Allah. As you get closer to Allah, you start to reflect the attributes of Allah within yourself. That person who was getting close to the fire was being able to acquire the heat of the fire, was able to become warm from the heat of the fire. He would never be able to enter the fire, because if he entered the fire, what would happen? He would burn. You can never enter into the essence of Allah. The essence of Allah is not accessible for you. The essence of Allah is only for Allah. But you can get close to Him by acquiring His attributes within yourselves. That's what tonight is about. The journey is this journey that we need to take. The destination is liqa'ullah. The destination is the meeting with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the question we have to ask ourselves is, what is it that you desire in this Muharram? What is it that you desire in this Muharram? For wallahi, we can come here and we can ask Allah for our problems, solve our problems at home, solve our problems at work. Maybe, you're looking for a spouse, you want a child. We can ask for all these worldly things, and there is nothing wrong in it. But the challenge for tonight is, who is going to ask for Allah from Allah? Who's going to ask for Allah tonight? From Allah. That is the journey tonight. Acquiring and manifesting His attributes within yourself. The rituals that we carry out, that's the base. Like I said to you a couple of nights ago, yes? The rituals is the means. They are the means. They are the launch pad of the journey. You need to launch yourself, step on that base, and take the flight tonight, because that flight will take you to Allah. The rituals are the launch pad. Launch yourselves. They are not the journey, they are not the destination, they are the means towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Al-Qandusi, Al-Qandusi is a Hanafi narrator. Comes from the school of Hanafi, of our brothers, in Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah. Yes? He's a Hanafi narrator. And he narrates a tradition from Abu Dhar. Abu Dhar, he narrates this tradition. Who narrates this tradition from the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wa alihi wasallam? And the Prophet says, Inna mathala Ahlulbayti fikum mathala safinatun nuh, man raqibaha naja wa man takhallafa anha halaq. Look at what the Prophet is saying. The Prophet, this is a Hanafi narrator, right? A Hanafi narrator narrates this from the Prophet. The Holy Prophet is saying that the similitude of my progeny amongst you is that of the ark of Noah. It's that of the ship of Hazrat Nuh alayhi salam. Whomsoever boards it will be saved, and whoever lags behind will perish. From the Holy Prophet. Our sixth Imam, Imam Ja'far as-Sadiq, salawatullahi wa salamu alayhi. He was narrating the hadith, right? The very famous hadith, that about Imam Hussain alayhi salam, Misbahul Huda wa Safinatun Najat. Yes, about Imam Hussain, Misbahul Huda wa Safinatun Najat. Surely Al-Hussain is the lantern, the lamp of guidance, and the ship of salvation. And somebody came to the sixth Imam and said that, is it not true that all of you Imams are the ships of salvation? Aren't you all lanterns of guidance and ship of salvation? Where this particular hadith, talks about Al-Hussain, Misbahul Huda wa Safinatun Najat. Aren't all the Ahlulbayt Misbahul Huda and Safinatun Najat? And the sixth Imam replies to this man. He says, Kulluna sufunan najat illa an safinat al-Hussain. He says, all of us are ships of salvation except for the ship of Hussain. Was'aw wa asraw. He says the ship of Hussain is more spacious and it's faster. Sixth Imam. Allama Tabatabai, he says that Abu Abdullah al-Hussain has this great attention towards the wayfarers, towards the people who take this journey on the path of God. It is Abu Abdullah al-Hussain who helps that person to remove those veils between him and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because his ship is more spacious and it's faster. Yes? On these nights, therefore, we must need to get to that moment where our hearts need to change. Our hearts need to change on this night. And we need to transform ourselves to become a better person, a different person than what we were before we started the 10 days of Muharram. It's the night of spiritual decisions, wallahi. This is your night. Don't lose it. It's your night of spiritual decisions. It's your night where you can make commitments to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that tonight, yes, I will start my journey. And yes, you will start and you will slip and you will fall and you will get up again, because this is the beauty of Abu Abdullah al-Hussain. Tonight is that night for spiritual decisions. You know, there is a beautiful ayah in the Holy Quran where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, أَلَمْ يَعْنِ لِلَّذِينَ آمَنُوا أَن تَخْشَعَ قُلُوبُهُمْ لِذِكْرِ اللَّهِ. It is a rhetorical question that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asks. أَلَمْ يَعْنِ لِلَّذِينَ آمَنُوا أَن تَخْشَعَ قُلُوبُهُمْ لِذِكْرِ اللَّهِ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, what a pleasurable ayat this is. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this ayah is saying, has the time not come that you should change? Has the time not come that you should change? How many more opportunities do you need? How many more Muharrams do you need? How many more Ashuras do you need? How many more Laylatul Qadr do you need? How many more 15th Rajab do you need? How many more 15th Sha'ban do you need? How many more? Has the time not come that you should change? أَلَمْ يَعْنِ لِلَّذِينَ آمَنُوا أَن تَخْشَعَ قُلُوبُهُمْ لِذِكْرِ اللَّهِ. Has the time not come that you should change? You know, there was a man by the name of Fuzail ibn Ayyas. Yes? Fuzail ibn Ayyas, he was a dacoit. Right? He was a bad guy. He was a, you know, in Urdu we call it daku. Yes? He was a thief. And he was no ordinary thief. He was known, at that time in Medina, he was known as the greatest thief and the most wretched man. People used to hear the word Fuzail and they used to shiver, because Fuzail had one thing: if he said he was going to do something, then by God he would do it. Recite Salawat ala Muhammad wa So if Fuzail said that he would do something, he would by God do it. He had that reputation. Fuzail ibn Ayyas, the thief, the most wretched man. So one day, Fuzail was walking the streets of Medina. As Fuzail was walking the streets of Medina, he saw a beautiful young girl. And when he saw this beautiful young girl, he got attracted to her. He got attracted to her, so he went to her. And he said to this young girl, he said, look, I'm going to come to your house tonight. Tell your parents to keep you ready for me so that I can marry you tonight. I'm coming to your house and getting married to you. So this woman, you know, she got very scared, because this is Fuzail ibn Ayyas. And what Fuzail says, he does. So she came running to her house. She told her parents that this is what happened. I saw Fuzail in the streets, and this is what Fuzail said, that he's going to come to the house tonight, and you should keep me ready, for he's going to marry me and take me away. And the parents started to shiver. They started to get worried. They said, if Fuzail said this, then by God he is going to do it. So that night, Fuzail started and he went towards the house of this young woman. And as thieves always do, yes, they don't come through the front door, yeah? So Fuzail went to the back door and he climbed the wall. And as he was climbing the wall, he heard somebody reciting the Holy Quran. He was an Arab, so he knew what the Quran meant, yes? But he heard somebody reciting the Holy Quran, and they were reciting this ayah. They were reciting this ayah, أَلَمْ يَعْنِ لِلَّذِينَ آمَنُوا أَن تَخْشَعَ قُلُوبُهُمْ لِذِكْرِ اللَّهِ. Has the time not come that you should change? And when Fudail heard this ayah of Quran, it hit the heart of Fudail. It hit the heart of Fudail, and he stopped right there, and he reflected, and he said to himself, indeed, has the time not come that I should change? What will I do when I go in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? And he thought to himself, what am I doing? Sometimes, we say, why recite the Quran? We don't realize that sometimes the Quran has this effect on your heart. It softens your heart. And he said that indeed has the time not come that I should change. So before climbing over that wall and going towards, the house of that girl, he stepped back and he went away. And the history tells us that for many years, nobody knew where Fudail ibn Ayyas was. He got lost. Nobody knew where he was. He left. Nobody knew where Fudail was, until such time that the history tells us that there was a time when Fudail was then seen again as being one of the prominent companions of our sixth Imam, Imam Ja'far as-Sadiq, salawatullahi wa salamu alayhi. If a thief and a dacoit like Fudail can change, then why not us? Why not? Why not us? Somebody as wretched as this man, if he can change, أَلَمْ يَعْنِ لِلَّذِينَ آمَنُوا أَن تَخْشَعَ قُلُوبُهُمْ لِذِكْرِ اللَّهِ. If he can change, then why not us? You see, you have to see Imam Hussain tonight. You have to feel the presence of Aba Abdullah tonight, because tonight the personality of Aba Abdullah al-Hussain can take you on this journey towards Allah faster than anybody else. Faster than anybody else. Hussain has got that ability to change destinies overnight. He changed the destiny of 72 people in one night. Changed the destinies of 72 people in one night. This is when you give yourselves to Aba Abdullah al-Hussain tonight. And that's from the depths of your heart you say, Labbaik ya Hussain. Look at Hur. Huh? He changes the destiny of Hur in one night. That night of Ashura was the night of Laylatul Qadr for Hur. He changes destinies. Look at Zuhair ibn Qayn. Zuhair ibn Qayn, you know what used to happen with Zuhair ibn Qayn? Zuhair ibn Qayn used to blame Imam Ali alayhi salam for the killing of Osman. But he had something in his heart for the Ahlulbayt. So as they were journeying from Makkah, Imam Hussein's kafilah was journeying from Makkah, and Zuhair ibn Qayn's caravan was also journeying. Zuhair ibn Qayn did whatever he could to avoid Aba Abdullah al-Hussain. He did not want to face Imam Hussain alayhi salam because he had a respect for the Ahlul Bayt. But there comes a time, a point where there was an oasis and they had to have water, and the camps camped at that same spot. But Zuhair made sure that his camp was a little far away from Aba Abdullah al-Hussein's camp. And what happens is Aba Abdullah al-Hussain says to one of his people, He says that, is that camp of Zuhair ibn Qayn? And they said, yes, Aba Abdullah, that is the camp of Zuhair ibn Qayn. So he sends a messenger and he says, you go and tell Zuhair ibn Qayn that the son of Fatima al-Zahra wants to talk to him. So the messenger comes. Zuhair ibn Qayn is sitting in his tent. He has a morsel of food, just about to put it in his mouth. And the man comes in and says that I am the messenger of Hussain. And he puts the food morsel down. And this messenger says to Zuhair, oh Zuhair, Aba Abdullah al-Hussain has asked for a meeting with you. And Zuhair ibn Qayn looks down at his food. He's quiet. He didn't say a word. He didn't say anything. And the wife of Zuhair says, Zuhair, what's wrong with you? The son of Fatima al-Zahra wants to talk to you. Why don't you go to talk to him? What have you got to lose? Why don't you go and talk to him? Zuhair ibn Qayn now comes. He comes to talk to Aba Abdullah al-Hussain. He enters the tent of Imam Hussain. History says we don't know what took place between Zuhair and Aba Abdullah. They were alone in the tent. Nobody knows what took place. Only a few minutes. Zuhair enters the tent. But then a few minutes later he comes out. When he comes out, he's a different person. His face is enlightened. He comes out, he runs to his own caravan and he says, I am joining Aba Abdullah al-Hussain. If Zuhair can change, then why not us? أَلَمْ يَعْنِ لِلَّذِينَ آمَنُوا أَن تَخْشَعَ قُلُوبُهُمْ لِذِكْرِ اللَّهِ. Has the time not come that we should change? If Zuhair ibn Qayn changes, then why not us? You know, a transformational change has to happen within us, my friends. Transformational change. We justify the commitment of Aba Abdullah al-Hussain on this night. It cannot be the same as before. The change has to come towards the resignation of the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You know, Imam Ghazali, he gives a really good example. You know, he talks about a pen of animals, a pen of sheep, right? A pen of sheep. There's a few sheep in one pen, gazelles or sheep, you know, in one pen. And they are busy grazing. You know how these gazelles and sheep do, right? They're just grazing. They're having a good time. They're just grazing in the grass, yes? And there is a pen of them. And suddenly a lion comes. A lion comes. He picks up one of those gazelles, takes him, right? And runs away with that gazelle. The rest of the animals in that pen, right? For 3 to 5 minutes, they're shocked. What just happened? One of our gazelles, a lion came in, attacked him and took him away and killed him. So for 5 minutes they're stunned. They don't know what to do. But then after 5 minutes, they continue to graze in their pen. Same as before. We cannot be like that, my friends. We cannot be like that. We cannot be like the gazelles. We cannot be like the sheep, where we are just grazing away, and 10 days of Muharram comes, boom, there is a jolt. But then after Ashura, mashallah, we just go back to our grazing. This is not what we can do. This is the night, my friends, where we can make changes. Look at Aba Abdullah al-Hussain. In his last moments, I'm not reading Messiah yet, but in his last moments, after he buries Ali Asghar, and think about that scene. He has his 6-month-old baby, Ali al-Asghar, who has just been slaughtered by Hurmala. He takes the baby and he gives the baby to the mother to hold. and he goes behind his tent. The mother Rabab is holding her dead baby in her hands as Abu Abdullah digs a grave for Ali al-Asghar. Imagine that scene. Rabab holding Asghar, Abu Abdullah digging a grave. As he digs a grave, he goes into prostration, he goes into sajda, and it seems that he is mumbling something, he is saying something, and he says to his, and somebody listens, and they listen, Abu Abdullah saying something, and Imam Hussain is saying, "Oh Lord, aytamtu ayali likay araq." He says, "Oh Allah, oh my Lord, I have orphaned my children so that I may come and see you, O Allah." And then he says, if they cut me into pieces, irban irba, if they cut me into pieces, my heart will not long and yearn for anyone other than you, O Allah. You know, when you do the amal of Ashura tomorrow, inshallah, yes, you do the amal of Ashura tomorrow, what will you do? One of the amals that you will do is you will walk 7 times forward and you'll come back 7 times back again. Yes, 7 steps forward and 7 steps back, and you will say, "Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un, ridan bi qada'ihi wa tasliman li amri." You'll say this, yes? Why are you saying this in the amal? Why are you doing that particular amal? You see, and you will say to me, well, this is the sunnah of Abu Abdullah al-Hussain. When he had his 6-month-old baby, Ali Asghar, in his hands, he went 7 times towards the Khaymagah, and 7 times he retreated by saying, "Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un." 7 times he went forward, 7 times he retreated. That's why we do that amal tomorrow, yes? But there are so many things that Imam Hussain did on the day of Ashura. Why have our Imams told us that it is this amal that is part of the amal of Ashura? Why this? There is a philosophy behind it, my friends. The philosophy is that Imam Hussain alayhi salam, he's holding his Aliyun al-Asghar, and he's saying to him, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I have sacrificed my Ali Asghar for you, O Allah. The challenge for us when we do that amal tomorrow is, what have you sacrificed for Allah? What is your sacrifice? Who is your Ali Asghar? Who is your Ali Asghar? One thing at least we can sacrifice, yeah? Maybe we make that commitment for one thing when we do that amal, that, oh Allah, I have not been doing this wajibat, this obedience of yours. I am now going to commit that from today I will do this in your obedience. Or you can say that, oh Allah, I have been committing this sin perpetually on an ongoing basis. I have been committing this sin. Today I make the commitment that I will not commit this sin. Wallah, if you do that, you have done the amal of Ashura, and you have done the aza of Abu Abdullah al-Hussain. There is a philosophy behind these things. Don't think it's a joke. I want, in the next 5 minutes, 10 minutes, I want to touch on one subject. And I was very upset to hear about this from some people. I'm just a guest speaker, I'm going to go tomorrow, it doesn't matter. You can say what you want about me when I leave. Alhamdulillah, you do my ghibah, my sins will be washed away. Yes? But I heard from some youth in the community that there is a question that is being raised about the azah that we carry out of Imam Hussain alayhi salam. There is question about this flag that we kiss, the alam that we kiss, the taboot that is going to come out and people kiss it. that there are some so-called scholars who are saying that this is not right, that don't do this. We have not understood the concept of the adha of Aba Abdullah, and we have not understood the concept of the symbols of Imam Hussain alayhi salam. For Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran, He says, ذَلِكَ وَمَنْ يُعَظِّمْ شَعَائِرَ اللَّهِ فَإِنَّهَا مِنْ تَقْوَى الْقُلُوبِ. We talked about taqwa, yeah? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran, He has spoken about certain signs. He has spoken about certain signs, min sha'air Allah, that lead to the recognition of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And in so doing, He has emphasized that whomsoever reveres these signs, respects these signs, and recognizes these signs, he shows taqwa al-qulub. He shows piety that is not superficial or superfluous, piety that is entrenched in the heart. Taqwa al-qulub. Min sha'air Allah. Whatever reminds you of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and whatever refers you to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is a sign from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, min sha'air Allah. And to respect and honor anything that stimulates the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala without the intention of worship. Worship is only for Allah. Without the intention of worship. Worship is only for Allah. But if you were to respect and revere this sign, then you will see that you will develop taqwa. Not taqwa that is superficial, taqwa al-qulub, entrenched in your heart. You know, the animal, people have just come, mashallah, from Hajj, yeah? The animal that you slaughter in Mina cannot be compared to the animal that you slaughter in Sadaqah or in Aqiqah or just to make pilau at home, yeah? The animal in Hajj has a special place because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran says that this animal that you have picked up in Hajj is min sha'air Allah. وَالْبُدْنَا جَعَلْنَاهَا لَكُمْ min sha'air Allah. You know, in the old days, we used to, go to Hajj, yeah? And when it was time for Qurbani, now it's all automated, yeah? But in the old days, we used to have to go to do Qurbani ourselves. So you go to Mina, and you see these people, they are selling these sheep or goats, yes? And you go to them, and after you go to them, you make a deal with them. They tell you 4,000 riyals. And you say, no, I'll give you 2,000. They say, no, 4,000. You say, no, look at your animal, it's so ugly. I'll give you 2,000. And then you make a deal, you negotiate, and then you buy it for 3,000. You give him $3,000. He gives you, or 3,000 riyals. He gives you the animal. Now you pick up the animal. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran, He says that when you were making that deal, you were talking bad about that animal. Look at your animal, it's so ugly, I don't want it, I'll go for somebody else. You were insulting it. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that now that you have bought that animal, and now you have that animal in your hand, now it has become min sha'air Allah. Now because it has become min sha'air Allah, you cannot even insult that rope that is hanging around the neck of that animal, because that is min sha'air Allah. What is the secret? Thousands of years ago, Hajra walks between Safa and Marwa. She runs between Safa and Marwa. That running of the wife of a prophet, yes, she was the wife of a prophet. She was not a ma'soom. She was the wife of a prophet. That act that was done by her was an act for the survival of a prophet. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loved that act so much that even today He has made that act obligatory as part of the ritual of Hajj. And that's why He says in the Quran, Inna safa wal marwatan min sha'air Allah. It's the issue of symbolism, my friends. Qurbani is a symbol of the sacrifice of Ibrahim. The Jula of Ali Asghar is a symbol to remind us of the sacrifice of Ali Asghar. Hitting shaitan in Hajj is a symbol for you hitting your own inner shaitan. Raising your hands and bringing it down to your chest in Matam is a symbol of the love of Aba Abdullah al-Hussain. Min sha'airullah. Whatever reminds you of Allah and whatever leads to the obedience of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is from the signs of Allah. It is min sha'airullah. And Allah says, وَمَنْ يُؤَذِّمَ, I want you to respect it, because it will give you piety from the heart. You know, we cannot look down upon these things, my friends. We really cannot. If you don't get connected to it, fair enough, don't do it. Right? But it gives you no right to judge other people. And for you to say, this is like idol worshipping, is to not understand the concept of min sha'airullah. Yeah? You know, we don't look down upon those things because it takes us nearness to the nearness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and to His obedience. At that time, we do not see what it is made of. Yes? The animal which is inferior to man, because it leads you to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it becomes more superior because it is min sha'airullah. Yes? And that's what gives you taqwa al-qulub. You know, look at Adam, for example, yes? Adam was created from clay, from dust, yes? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala orders the angels to prostrate. إِذَا سَوَيْتُ وَنَفَخْتُ فِيهِ مِنْ رُوحِي. Allah says, when I put the ruh, when I put my soul into Adam, فَسَجَدُوا, I want you to go into prostration. Everybody prostrates, except for shaitan, except for Iblis, right? He refuses to prostrate. Why? Because Iblis did not have taqwa al-qulub. Why did Iblis refuse to prostrate? Iblis says, I will not bow down to Adam. I will not bow down to Adam because I am better than him. قال أنا خير منه خلقتني من نار وخلقته من طين. I am better than him. I am made of fire and he is made of clay. This, my friends, is the difference. The difference is in how you view it and what is your interpretation of it. See, the malaika bowed down because it was an order of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because it was a commandment of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The prostration of the malaika was in obedience of the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The malaika knew that their prostration to Adam is ascribed to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because it was a command from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Shaitan was looking at what it was made of. When you ask me, what is this alam made of? What is this flag made of? This is a flag is made of a piece of cloth. The alam is made of a piece of wood and some cloth on it. But if you look at the alam that way, you are looking at it the way Shaitan looked at Adam. You're looking at what it is made of, not what it is ascribed to. If you look at what it is ascribed to, then Allah says it is min sha'air Allah and وَمَنْ يُؤَذِّمْ. I want you to respect it and I want you to revere it. See, this mimbar, yes, this mimbar is made of what? A few planks of wood. This mimbar is made up of a few planks of wood. But when you build this mimbar and you designate it as a mimbar, now it becomes a mimbar of Rasul. And the Holy Prophet says that this mimbar of Rasul is such that those with knowledge will sit on it, monkeys will not sit on it. Min sha'air Allah. Don't look at what it is made of. Look at what is it ascribed to. The azadari that you do, the azah of Imam Hussain that you do, it's not a ceremonial lamentation. It has a purpose. Its purpose is that through it you can get close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But the truth of ta'zim, the truth of waman yu'adhim, the truth of ta'zim is not only to kiss it, it's not only to revere it. The truth of ta'zim is when you go to it, you are making a commitment to Abu Abdullah al-Hussain. And by making a commitment to Abu Abdullah al-Hussain, you are now saying, as you kiss that alam, as you kiss this flag, you are saying, you are telling Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that I am going to follow the way of Sayyidul Shuhada, because the way of Sayyidul Shuhada will be the way towards you, O Allah. That is what وَمَنْ يُؤَذِّمْ means. And you know, this is not new. There's a group of people that came to Amir al-Mu'mineen, Ali ibn Abi Talib, salawatullahi wa salamu alayhi. And they said to Amir al-Mu'mineen, they said, you know this Hajr Aswad? Yes, the black stone in the Holy Kaaba, yes? They said to Amir al-Mu'mineen, you know this black stone in the Holy Kaaba, we need to remove it. So it's not new. So we said we need to remove it. And Imam says, why? He says, you know, because people are going to it, they are kissing it. It looks like idol worshipping. And Amir al-Mu'mineen said to them that do not say that of the black stone. Because this Hajr Aswad is min sha'air Allah. It is from the signs of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then Amir al-Mu'mineen says that, look, it has certain qualities. He says one of its qualities is, what is the quality? He says when you see, one of the qualities Amir al-Mu'mineen says is that when you go to Hajj and you start your tawaf, yes? You start your tawaf at Hajr Aswad. You turn around and you say, Bismillahi Allahu Akbar. And then you start your tawaf. Amir al-Mu'mineen says that when you start your tawaf, the quality of min sha'air Allah is, it is a witness to you. On the day of Qiyamah, it registers your name. On the day of Qiyamah, it will be a witness and say, yes, this person came and he did his Hajj. And then Amir al-Mu'mineen says that it has another quality. Its quality is that when you kiss that Hajr Aswad, the quality is that that stone is able to distinguish the kiss of a mu'min from that of a munafiq. Because that's the quality of min sha'air Allah. وَمَنْ يُعَظِّمْ. My time is up, otherwise I would have told you a lot more. But I tell you, my friends, today when we kiss that alam, tomorrow when we respect the ta'but, you know, we kiss the flag of Abu Abdullah al-Hussain. Let's do it with some understanding and ma'rifah. Worship is only for Allah. But the signs of Allah will take us towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we cannot belittle them. And we cannot say it looks like idol worshipping. No. These are the symbols of Aba Abdullah al-Hussein. This is what keeps our hearts alive with Aba Abdullah al-Hussein. We ask Abul Fadl as we kiss his alam, we ask him that, oh Abul Fadl, if Aba Abdullah was able to take Zuhair towards his destiny, if he was able to take Hur towards his destiny, then why can he not carry me towards the meeting with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? That is what is meant by Labbaik Ya Hussain. Labbaik Ya Hussain is not just an empty chant, my friends. It's a commitment to Aba Abdullah al-Hussein. And that's what we have to do. Recite the salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. The night of Ashura is that night when there are two types of voices coming out from the tents of Aba Abdullah al-Hussein. And the two types of voices are either the salutations and the prayers and the dua and the salat that is being recited by the companions of Aba Abdullah al-Hussein, or they are the cries of the young children tugging on the abayas of their mothers, saying, Al-Atash, Al-Atash, oh my thirst, oh my thirst. That is what this particular night is about, my friends. Imam Hussain alayhi salam, on the day of Ashura, this battered and tired Imam, on the day of Ashura, he has brought the lash, he has brought the bodies of Aun and Muhammad back to the Khaybagah. He has taken the body of Qasim and dragged the body of Qasim back to the Khaybagah. He has consolidated the arms of Abul Fadl al-Abbas. He has taken out the spear from the chest of Ali al-Akbar. When all his companions have given their lives and all the people in his family have given their lives, now Aba Abdullah al-Hussein is alone in the fields of Karbala. He mounts onto the sand dunes of Karbala and he says, Hal min nasirin yansuruna, Hal min mughisin yughithuna. Is there anyone here that can come for my help? As Imam gives this sada of istighasa, as Imam gives this particular call of help, and he says, Hal min nasirin yansuruna, the wife of Aba Abdullah al-Hussein, Rabab, comes out from her tent. She comes out of her tent. She signals to Aba Abdullah al-Hussein and asks him to come into the tent. Imam as-salam runs into the tent of Rabab, and Rabab says to Aba Abdullah, oh my master, when you called out Hal min nasirin yansuruna, our 6-month-old baby Ali Asghar, he threw himself out of the cradle. Imam al-Hussein goes to Rabab and he says to Rabab, Rabab, give me my son, give me Ali Asghar. Rabab gives Ali Asghar to Aba Abdullah al-Hussein. Imam alayhi salam, he takes Ali Asghar into his arms. He takes Ali Asghar into his arms. Then he takes his abaya. He takes his abaya and he shrouds his abaya over Ali al-Asghar. And then he says to Rabab, Rabab, I am going to take this young boy, I'm going to take this young baby into the battlefield of Karbala, for maybe there will be somebody in the army of Yazid who, by seeing a young baby, maybe they will give him a few drops of water. Rabab says to Aba Abdullah al-Hussein, oh my master, if you are to take my Ali Asghar to the battlefield of Karbala, please bring him back back without any harm. For I have seen that whomsoever has walked in that direction today, they have not come back alive. I want my Ali Asghar to come back. Abu Abdullah says, Arubab, let me try. Let me take Ali Asghar and see. I am sure there are fathers in the camp of Umar ibn Saad. They may see this young baby and they may have a little bit of sympathy in their hearts and they may give Ali Asghar some water. Let me try. Rabab says, okay. Imam now takes Ali Asghar into the fields of Karbala. He takes Ali Asghar. As he comes with Ali Asghar is shrouded by Imam Zaba. He brings Ali Asghar into the fields of Karbala. The army of Yazid, they start to look at Imam al-Hussain. They start to talk to each other. They say to each other, it seems that Abu Abdullah has brought the Quran with him. It seems that Abu Abdullah has brought the Quran with him. Perhaps he's going to do some sort of a bad dua for us. But when Abu Abdullah comes into the battlefield, he takes the shroud. He opens the shroud. And when he opens the shroud, they see this beautiful 6-month-old baby in the arms of Abu Abdullah al-Hussain. And Imam Hussain says to the people of the army of Umar ibn Saad, is there any father from amongst you who is willing to give a few drops of water for my 6-month-old baby? Look at the mazlumiyat of my Abu Abdullah. He says, is there anybody who can give us drops of water to this 6-month-old baby? The army of Yazid start to cry when they see the thirst of Ali al-Asghar. Then Abu Abdullah al-Hussain says that I know what you are thinking. You are thinking that perhaps by giving you the excuse of giving water to my son, maybe you think that Abu Abdullah will also drink some water. So I'm not going to do that. I will put Ali Asghar onto the ground. You give him some water. The historians write, Imam Hussain takes Ali al-Asghar and he puts Ali al-Asghar on the burning fields of Karbala. And now the historians say that Ali Asghar opens his mouth. He takes his dried tongue and he puts his dried tongue over his dried lips to show the army of Umar ibn Saad how thirsty Ali al-Asghar. Azadar Hussain. When Ali Asghar does this, at that time Umar ibn Saad comes to Abu Abdullah al-Hussain, and Umar ibn Saad says to Abu Abdullah, oh Abu Abdullah, do the bayat of Yazid and we will give your child some water. Hussain picks up Ali Asghar. He mumbles something into the ear of Ali Asghar. A smile comes on the face of Ali Asghar. My heart says that perhaps Imam al-Hussain told Ali Asghar in his ears, oh Ali Asghar, they want me to do bayah. And Ali Asghar's response was that, oh my father, my sacrifice is going to be important for the saving of Islam. You cannot do bayah. Umar ibn Saad now comes to Hurmala. He comes to Hurmala and he says to Hurmala, Iqta kalamul Hussain. I want you to eradicate the sign of Hussain. Azadaro, Hurmala was the best of the archers in the army of Umar ibn Saad. Umar ibn Saad says, Iqta kalamul Hussain. I want you to eliminate the sign of Hussain. Hurmala takes his first arrow. He aims it at Ali Asghar. The arrow falls down onto the ground. He takes the second arrow. He aims it at Ali Asghar. The arrow falls down onto the ground. Umar ibn Saad comes to Hurmala. He says to Hurmala, you are the best of my archers. How is it that you cannot kill a 6-month-old baby? And Hurmala says to Umar ibn Saad, oh Umar ibn Saad, you do not know, for whenever I take my arrow and I aim it at this 6-month-old baby, from the corner of my eye, I see that in the Khaymagah of Aba Abdullah, there is a mother who is pacing up and down, praying to Allah that, oh Allah, bring my 6-month-old baby with his thirst quenched. I'm not able to throw the arrow at this 6-month-old baby. Urmala says that I will now try. He takes a third arrow. Now this third arrow is a 3-pronged arrow, an arrow that is usually used to kill large animals, such as large camels. Urmala takes this arrow. He fires the arrow towards Imam Hussain. He fires the arrow towards Ali al-Asghar. The arrow pierces the arm of Abu Abdullah al-Hussain, and then it pierces the neck of Ali. It pierces the arm of Abu Abdullah al-Hussain. It pierces the neck of Ali Asghar. Ali Asghar rides now in the arm of Abu Abdullah al-Hussain. Imam alayhi salam takes the blood from the neck of Ali Asghar and he puts the blood on his beloved face, so that when he goes to meet Rasulullah, he is able to say to Rasulullah, oh my grandfather, the Muslims did this to me. Hurmala kehta hai कि मैं जब भी निशाना लगाता हूँ तो मेरी नजर हुसैन के खैमगाह तक पहुँचती है और मैं वहाँ देखता हूँ कि एक माँ है जो बड़ी बेताबी से अपने बच्चे का इंतजार कर रही है। आज़ादारों, हुरमला ने तीर लगाया। ये तीर हुसैन की कलाई से होके मासूम की गर्दन पे पेवस्त हुआ है। आज़ादारों, मैं एक सवाल पूछना चाहता हूँ, तीर का क्या काम होता है? तीर का क्या काम होता है? तीर का काम होता है कि जहाँ तीर लगता है वहाँ एक शिगाफ बनाता है। जहाँ तीर लगता है वहाँ एक शिगाफ बनाता है। कुरान रखिए मेरे सर पे, हुरमला के तीर ने असगर की गर्दन पे शिगाफ नहीं बनाया है। तिबरिसी अमर वाला लिखता है, ज़बहु मिनल हुज़न इलल हुज़न। इस तीर ने अली असगर के गर्दन को एक कान से दूसरे कान तक ज़बह कर दिया। तीर ने बच्चों को एक कान से दूसरे कान तक ज़बह कर दिया। आज़ादारों, तीर एक है, उसी में बाप की कलाई है, उसी में बेटे की गर्दन है। एक मर्तबा अबा अब्दुल्ला खैमेगाह तक आते हैं। मुअर्रिख लिखते हैं कि 7 मर्तबा अबा अब्दुल्ला आगे आते हैं, इन्ना लिल्लाहि व इन्ना इलैहि राजिऊन। 7 मर्तबा वापस आते हैं और इदन बिक़दाई व तस्लीमन लि अम्री। हुसैन ये सोच रहे हैं कि शशमा को अपनी माँ के पास कैसे ले जाऊं। बस आज़ादारों, एक मर्तबा खैमगाह में अबा अब्दुल्ला आते हैं। रबाब ने जब अली असगर के ज़बह की हुई गर्दन देखी है, एक मर्तबा तरफ के कहती है, आका क्या बच्चे ऐसे ज़बह किए जाते? क्या बच्चे ऐसे ज़बह किए जाते? मुअर्रिख लिखते हैं कि इमाम अल हुसैन ने अली असगर को खैमगाह के पीछे दफन किया है। आज़ादारों, अब रबाब के हाथ में 6 महीने का अली असगर है। अब बूढ़ा बाप अब कब्र खोद रहा, माँ बच्चे को उठाए हुए है, बाप कब्र खोद रहा है। एक मर्तबा इमाम हुसैन ने अली असगर को दफन किया। आज़ादारों, आशूर की शाम, या अल्लाह या अल्लाह, आशूर की शाम जब सब लाशें इकट्ठे हो रहे थे तो उमर इब्न साद ने कहा, सब लाशें जब इकट्ठे हो रहे थे तो उमर इब्न साद ने कहा कि एक लाश की कमी है। عمر ابن سعد نے کہا کہ ایک لاش کی کمی ہے. کسی نے کہا ہاں عمر ابن سعد یہ علی اصغر کی لاش ہے, حسین کے 6 مہینے کے 6 ماہ کی لاش ہے, اور حسین نے علی اصغر کی لاش کو کربلا میں کہیں دفن کر دیا ہے, خیمہ گاہ کے قریب کہیں دفن کر دیا ہے, ہمیں نہیں پتا کہ حسین نے کہاں دفن کیا ہے. اب عمر ابن سعد کہتا ہے کہ مجھے وہ علی اصغر کی لاش چاہیے. عزاداران حسین, ریاض القدس میں لکھا ہے, ریاض القدس میں لکھا ہے, اور روایت میں ملتا ہے کہ عمر ابن سعد نے حکم دیا کہ تم کچھ گھوڑوں پہ سوار ہو جاؤ اور ہاتھ میں نیزہ لے کر گھوڑوں پہ سوار ہو جاؤ اور کربلا کے میدان کی تلاشی لو. نیزوں کو مردان کربلا میں مارنا اور دیکھو کہ اصغر کی لاش ملتی کہ نہیں. عزاداروں, یہ لعین گھوڑوں پہ سوار ہو گئے. ریاض القدس میں لکھا ہے یہ لوگ اب گھوڑوں پہ سوار ہو گئے, نیزہ مارتے ہوئے کربلا کے میدان کی تلاشی لے رہے ہیں. ایک مرتبہ شمر نے ایک نیزے کو مارا. جب نیزے کو مارا ہے تو نیزے کی نوک پہ علی اصغر کی لاش آئی. ایک مرتبہ علی اصغر کی لاش کو بلند کیا. جب علی اصغر کی لاش کو بلند کیا, شبر نے کہا عمر سعد علی اصغر کی لاش میرے نوکے نیزے کے اوپر ہے. جب یہ کہنا تھا رباب خیمے سے باہر آ گئی. ایک مرتبہ سکینہ خیمے سے باہر آ گئی. رباب نے کہا اے میرے خدا, میرا بچہ کربلا کے میدان میں 2 مرتبہ شہید ہوا. پہلی مرتبہ حرملہ کے تیر نے اس کی گردن کو ذبح کر دیا, دوسری مرتبہ شمر کے نیزے نے میرے بچے کو ختم کر دیا. یا اللہ, آخری مسائب پڑھ رہا ہوں عزادار, آخری مسائب. جب یہ لوٹا ہوا قافلہ کربلا واپس آیا ہے, دلوں پہ ہاتھ رکھ کے دعا مانگنا عزاداروں. جب آنکھوں سے آنسو ٹپکے تو علی اصغر دوسرا باب الحوائج ہے. کربلا میں ایک باب الحوائج ابو الفضل ہے, دوسرا باب الحوائج علی الاصغر ہے. خدا کی قسم آج عاشور کی رات ہے. آنکھوں سے جب آنسو ٹپکے تو دلوں پہ ہاتھ رکھ کے اپنی حاجتوں کو طلب کرنا. میرا وعدہ ہے کہ اللہ آپ کی حاجتوں کو پوری کرے گا. عزاداروں, جب یہ لوٹا ہوا قافلہ واپس آیا ہے تو ایک مرتبہ زینب واپس آئی ہے مدینہ. زینب جب واپس آئی ہے مسجد النبوی کے باہر بیٹھ گئی. تھوڑی دیر کے بعد جناب صغرا جناب زینب کے پاس آتی ہے. جناب صغرا جب جناب زینب کے پاس آتی ہے, صغرا نے ایک مرتبہ زینب سے کہا پھوپھی اماں کیا میں پوچھ سکتی ہوں کہ میری سکینہ کہاں ہے؟ بس یہ پوچھنا تھا. زینب تڑپ گئی, کہتی ہے بیٹی سکینہ تو زندان شام میں کام آ گئی. سکینہ کی وفات زندان شام میں ہو گئی. سکینہ ہمارے ساتھ نہیں ہے, لیکن یہ حسین کی بیٹی ہے, ابھی بھی صبر ہے, ابھی بھی صبر ہے. اب یہ جناب صغرا اب جناب زینب کو کہتی ہے پھوپھی اماں میں سکینہ کو کیا ہوا؟ بس سکینہ برداشت نہ کر سکی, اپنے بابا کی شہادت کو برداشت نہ کر سکی, وہ زندان شام میں کام آ گئی. جب سب جناب صغرا خاموش ہے, وہ وہاں بیٹھی ہوئی ہے. تھوڑی دیر کے بعد جناب زینب نے دیکھا کہ صغرا یہاں وہاں کچھ ڈھونڈ رہی ہے, صغرا کچھ یہاں اور وہاں ڈھونڈ رہی ہے. اب جناب زینب نے صغرا سے کہا بیٹی صغرا کیا ڈھونڈ رہی ہو؟ ایک مرتبہ صغرا نے کہا پھوپھی اماں میں علی اصغر کو ڈھونڈ رہی ہوں. جب یہاں سے نکلا تھا تو چھوٹا سا بچہ تھا, شاید اب چلنے بھی لگا ہوگا. میرا اصغر کہاں ہے؟ بس یہ سننا تھا. رباب وہیں پہ بیٹھی ہوئی تھی. ایک مرتبہ رباب طرف کے کہتی ہے بیٹی صغرا میرے اصغر کے بارے میں نہ پوچھنا. میرا اصغر کربلا کے میدان میں 2 مرتبہ شہید ہوا. ہوا ہے. حرملا کے تیر نے اس کی گردن کو ذبح کیا اور شمر کے نیزے نے علی اصغر کی لاش کو ماتم حسین.
رباب کے دل سے کوئی پوچھے کہ جس کا بچہ